Shalom, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, elect of Yahushai. All praises and glory is due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kodash, who have given us this knowledge, this understanding, this truth, especially in the times that we're living in. And believe you me, these times are about to get worse, a whole lot worse, before it gets better. When is it going to get better? When Yahushua comes and destroys this society, destroys Esau's kingdom with a mighty destruction, and then sets up his kingdom on the planet Earth. And his kingdom, pursuant to 2 Peter 3 and 13, his kingdom is going to be a kingdom of righteousness. And by default, his kingdom is going to be the kingdom of Israel, which in reality is really the kingdom of Yahushua, but it's also known as the kingdom of Israel. And he's going to have King David sitting on the throne right beneath him. There's a scripture where it speaks about the order. To roughly paraphrase that scripture, it goes, and every man have his order. And the order starts with Yahushua and then King David all the way down. Okay, the rest of the 144,000.
But now is Yahushua risen from the dead, and become the first fruits of them that slept. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Yahushua shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order, Yahushua the first fruits, afterward they that are Yahushua at his coming. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, for he hath put all things under his feet. But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted, which did put all things under him. And when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that God may be all in all.
At 1446 Pacific Standard Time, 12 different locations across the globe were breached in what appears to have been a coordinated attack by an unknown enemy. All breaches were along the coastline in what is a campaign of rapid dominance.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful look out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful look, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shema Shai. And what I want to get into tonight, dealing with, all right, amongst my people are wicked men. Okay, because one thing about it, what we have to understand dealing with the ministry of Yahweh Shai, he was heavily addressing the wicked leadership of our people at that time. Okay. And as we understand, the leadership of our people were in cahoots, with the politics, okay, and the councils of the wicked, dealing with even Rome at the time. All right, and we're going to show it. All right, but this is nothing new. That's why scriptures say, there's no new thing under the sun. What Jake is doing today, by the way of these, Jake secret societies, beginning with the black Boule. Okay, which we hear their term getting thrown around, a lot. Brothers mention it. Certain key figures, were known to be a part of the Black Boule, or rumored, to be a part, with the Boule. All right, and I found a pretty informative video, that I thought would be edifying, for the body. I know this is gonna be pretty lengthy, long screen, a lot of things, gonna come out, a lot of information, is gonna come out. And Lord will is edifying, you know. So we're gonna start with a few precepts, and then we'll get, into the video. All right. So let's go here. Okay, and let's start with what we always get into. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. And that's why the truth is known as the light. And this light is shining in darkness. There's a lot of wickedness that's done in darkness, and it's done where? In high places. Okay, by the time we see it, by the time it hits, the TV screen, or the time, by the time it becomes a trend or a doctrine or a culture, where there's a wicked counsel behind all right, these wicked cultures, okay, these anti-Messiah doctrines and cultures that we see running the earth, okay, there's wicked counsels, behind these things, man. All right, we're going to get into some of them now. Let's go here. Okay. Yeah, let's get this in Ephesians. All right, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10. It said, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay, and this is why, we emphasize about being in the spirit, increasing in understanding and detaching more and more, seeking the old paths. Because this society, all right, is full of, okay, because you go here, but it's full of wicked enchantments, wicked anti-Messiah enchantments. Everything in this society, pretty much is geared towards anti-Messiah, So you go into the wiles of the devil, okay? The Greek word methodia, okay? Where you get method.
Strong's G 3180. Methodia.
Methodia. Okay, which you get the word method, all right? And method goes into what? Cunning, arts, deceit, craft, trickery. Okay, you see what compared to method. Okay. All right. And this is what this man is all about: deception and trickery. And one of the devices, one of his techniques, okay, is to set up leaders that he set up as if they're for the people. To get people that look like, because see, one thing about it with Esau, that's why you have puppet leaders, because it's easy to influence the people with leaders that come from amongst their own people. Okay, because he can play on the emotions, okay, and make it seem as that this certain leader is sincere. Meanwhile, this leader is leading you into the agenda of the devil, man. He's leading you into the agenda of the enemy. All right, and he's been doing that with Jake for the longest, man. Okay, especially since post-slavery. All right, we're going to see that this man has always had a hand in setting up these leaders. Okay, this is one of his methods, one of his wiles to set up these particular leaders. Okay, the black church played a major part in that. Okay, especially these mega pastors, they play a major part in that, man. All right, and we're going to see now. There's no new thing under the sun. Let's get that real quick. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, the thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. all right, which is in the earth. Okay? There's no new spirits that haven't been here before, man. And these spirits come back doing the same thing. All right. And that Greco-Roman era is back, man. Them Edomites from the Greek rulership and the Roman Empire, they're back. Okay, this Greco-Roman, all right, dynasty, all right, is alive and well, all right, through Esau Edom, ran by Amalek, man. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's go from there, and let's get to the video. All right, so it's about 30 minutes. You know, we're gonna play most of it. I'm gonna let most of it run. You know, I interject here and there, but it's a informative video. You know, so I thought it would be edifying. Okay.
Nor serve them.
Now, you know, we're all familiar, you know, with these HBCU colleges, you know, college in general, about these Greek, okay, fraternities and sororities. Okay, but he's gonna go into the origin of these things, man. Okay, and how Esau uses these for tools of recruitment. Okay, so you know he's gonna go in and he's gonna dissect it, man. You know, and we're just gonna filter everything through precepts, man. You know.
Greek theater, please welcome the fraternities and sororities of the National Pan-Hellenic Council, affectionately and universities across the country. They represent more than 100 years of unique brotherhood and sisterhood, with a rich history and legacy of service that stretches far beyond the college yard. Today, they are here to celebrate the freedom of Juneteenth. The Brothers of Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, 1906. The Ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, 1908. The Brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, 1911. The Brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, 1911. The Ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, 1913. The Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, 1914. The Ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, 1920. The Ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, 1922. The Brothers of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, 1963. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the National Pan-Hellenic Council, also known as the Divine Nine.
Represent
For more than a century, Black Greek organizations have made their voices heard on college campuses and in communities across the country.
Well, the founders of these organizations, they understood that the pathway forward for us was together through unity.
Moments like that, shared by many in the Divine Nine, the 9 Black sororities and fraternities that comprise the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Vice President Kamala Harris has been outspoken about the impact her sorority has had on her.
And along the way, you find people who help you become your true self. For me, that was my beloved Alpha Kappa Alpha sisters.
And don't be fooled. Though everyone may not always wear their letters or broadcast their acts of service,
that work behind the scenes is very serious, and they are committed. And it's some people that you wouldn't even know that are part of sororities or fraternities, that are part of very big decisions, very big just trends and monumental changes that are happening.
Because we have a love for our community.
As long as there is injustice, as long as there is a need to mentor, as long as there is a need to uplift the African Americans, there is a need for Alpha Phi Alpha.
A challenge that many of us face when dealing with this world is how we accept many practices and that have long been born or our parents or our grandparents were born. We accept many things justified in our culture, and therefore we take the position that these things shouldn't be ridiculed or even questioned. What we do is engage in a practice of accepting many different things in ignorance, and that is an extremely dangerous habit. Moving in ignorance is one of the major reasons why people are so easily trapped in the matrix. We just accept things because it's what we know. We don't know much about it, but because they have history and wide validation for many, we just accept it. And now, unfortunately, there are so many different parts to our modern lives that we just blindly accept, even though we really don't know much about them and what the risk or compromises may be.
So he's finna, break these things down. The Greek fraternity, he's gonna take it back to the origin of what he's saying, dealing with the tradition. Okay. Howard Shai, spoke on those things as well. So let's get that. As he speaks towards tradition. Okay, that our people, and remember he's talking to the leadership mainly. Okay, who's influencing Jake in a particular way. All right. So when you go here to the book of Mark chapter 7, all right, I believe started at verse 6. This is the book of Mark chapter 7, verse 6. He says he answered, all right. Yep, book of Mark chapter 7, verse 6. It says he answered and said unto them, where have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Okay, and a lot of people, just throw around God and Jesus, and, thank Jesus and thank God, love of God, if it wasn't for, they throw those names around, okay, but their mind is far from the standard of righteousness that the scriptures prescribe. Okay, our people have a culture of tradition that have nothing to do with the Bible. Okay, pagan holidays, okay, pagan fraternities and sororities, all right, and doctrines of men, as it's going to say into, how be it in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of Most High, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups and many other such things like ye do. And he said unto them, full well you reject the commandment of the Most High, that you may keep your own tradition. All right. And black culture is full of traditions that have nothing to do with the Bible. Okay. Niggas celebrate all the holidays of their oppressors, man. July 4th has nothing to do with Jake. There's a tradition. Juneteenth. There's a tradition. Has nothing to do with you niggas and freedom, man. Okay. And many many other things, man. But Howard Shai spoke to our people, being ignorant, okay, and stuck on traditions, man. All right, so that's all I wanted there. All right, so let's go back to the video. All right, but he's finna get ready, to dissect these things and break them down. And he know he's an Israelite. He go towards the end, he goes off on the name. He don't got it fully. But he's informative how he breaks these things down, you know. Um,
I talk about many different topics in this ministry. Fight against me for bringing these topics up. This particular subject is a major part of how Satan has been able to over people other and many of us attach ourselves to the dream of Michael King without really even understanding things that he was a part of. There is deception here. And the thing is that if these things are not exposed, we allow Satan to run freely without exposure. And me personally, I'm not for it. This topic must be exposed. Too many people I personally know are influenced by it. Too many people have family members or significant others, people that they're trying to bring out of these organizations and from this influence, but they can't formulate the right words to say to it. This all needs to be exposed so everyone can understand the truth. Now, for you, if you feel this is not for you, and you cannot find value out of this information, then please move on. I again want to be clear that this is not a black issue, but a worldwide issue. I promise you that there are many that are exposed to this, and this information will do a deal to bring clarity for many and help them gain the strength and wisdom to recognize the trappings of Satan and how he was out into what we black in America. So, out the way, let me introduce you to this topic. As a majority, we have probably heard conspiracy theories about secret societies. There is no limit to the chatter about many groups like the Freemasons, Bilderberg, the Jesuits, Skull and Bones, etc. Many people have heard of these groups, but most don't know a thing about them and if they really matter or not. I assure you that they do. But speaking about all of them will take me places for time's sakes I cannot go. I've spoken about these topics before. Anyways, the point I'm making is that the fact that there are secret societies is not very secret. It's more secret about what these groups believe in and why they exist in the first place. The point that I'm getting at is that we've heard of secret societies and that they exist. And with that understanding, one thing I don't think that is well known is the existence of black secret societies. Let me be clear that I don't like referring to this segment of the population as black people. But for time's sake, in America, the United States, power has never been truly given to the black community. This is why we saw the civil rights era and no campaigns like the deceptive Black Lives Matter. It's because there was no power in the community. So I know, kind of sad to hear of black secret societies. When I first was exposed to it, it kind of threw me off. Because what is the deal with them? If there is power in those other white secret societies, that should mean that there is power in the black ones as well, right? The answer is a clear yes, but it's too deep to discuss right now. The fact I'm getting to is that black secret societies do exist, and it has been the primary way of access Satan has had in order to infiltrate the black community in America. Because they're secret, it was a good reason why the infiltration was able to occur. Nobody knew certain men and women in their communities were compromised. So when we saw them, we looked at their status and their rise that we thought that was based upon education and hard work, never really realizing that they sold out in order to sell us out. I've gone over these black secret societies in other videos. I spoke directly about Prince Hall Freemasonry, and I spoke directly about the Black Boule. Two topics that are extremely important if you want to understand these black secret societies. Again, please know that the secret is not that they exist, but the secret is what they actually do and what they believe in and what they practice.
And real quick precept, all right, because Esau uses, these organizations, you might see him doing the fundraising, giving the cancer, and, different things. You'll see him on the forefront, helping the community. All right. But the those are the foot soldiers, the higher ups. Okay. Like he said, your Michael King, which is Martin Luther King. Okay. Your certain civil rights leaders and, politicians and judges, and entertainers. Okay. They're used to push an agenda. Okay. But he, you know, pretty much campaigns as if these organizations, okay, are pro Jake and are about the upliftment of Jake. Okay. So when you go to 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, it says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Okay? And he's able to do this through these various organizations, that's all Jake, and you don't think he has nothing to do with it. Okay? Well, he set all these things up, man. He appears as an angel, or angel goes into a messenger. He appears, as if, he makes these organizations seem as if they're a messenger of light, or a way of prosperity, a way of an upgrade, a way, of embetterment. Remember, this man is crafty. Okay, his wiles, when you go to wiles, his methods is trickery and craftiness, man. Okay, so I'm gonna let it play on.
But here's the thing. While those organizations are known for keeping secrets, and they are the secular black community is a recruitment tool used for these societies like Black Boule. In the black community, the majority of us know about these black collegiate Greek fraternities and sororities. I'm talking about the alphas, the AKAs, the kappas, the deltas, the omegas, etc. But though we know about them, we know very little about the first black Greek fraternity, the Black Boule, Sigma Pi Phi. This is the first black Greek fraternity in the country. The community are Boule, and they're proud of it, which is why LeBron James tattooed their symbol on his body. It's right in plain sight, but because we operate in ignorance,
And when you see, all right, there's the Boule symbol, okay, the Sphinx, with the wings, and it pretty much represents, all right, a gatekeeper. Okay, and you see LeBron has it right on his chest, man. Okay, and why do they want a LeBron? Because of his influence. Okay, he pushes, all right, ideologies on the left hand side. You see. I want to show a few more things. All right, because this is what these devils do. They, YouTube, they got, they scout YouTube, see who, okay, because they've been, they get them young. Now, this is old pictures of LeBron, back when he was in high school, when Jay-Z, used to come to the games. Okay, and what was Jay-Z coming to the games to do, man? Okay, the recruit, to start grooming. Once these Jakes, rise through the ranks, become internet stars, and have influence, hey, Esau sends, okay, the groomers there early, man. Okay, I don't know if this picture is showing up. Yep, you see, throwing up the diamond, all right, the pyramid. Okay, they send them handlers at Jake early, man. Okay, let's go here, because you have the latest guy. I'll just show you examples how these things work, because I said, use the internet, okay, what they call internet celebrities. What you just had the guy DC Fly Young, what the move he had to make, and then his show was number one. Okay, they approach these Jakes with influence because they want to keep the masses of Jake, okay, in a certain mindset. Okay, either chasing black wealth, okay, or being some goofy nigga or being some degenerate nigga. Now let's go from here. I know if you're not, into sports like that, you're not familiar with this Jake, Mikey Williams, you know, one of the top basketball players in the nation out of high school, okay, and you already see they sending them groomers at him, man, okay. Esau sending them groomers to him, man. Let's see, if I can get it to blow up. Let's see. Blow them up a little bit. And who you see him with, man? All right, Drizzy Drake. Drake throwing up the sixes, Mikey throwing up the devil horns. They send them groomers at Jake, man. Okay? Because they project he's going to be what? He's going to have a lot of influence, man. Okay? So they send them groomers at Jake early. Okay? To recruit. All right? For what, man? These little secret societies. Okay? These backdoor deals. You see? So, I just want to put that out there. We go back to it. He's going to expound some more on these things. All right?
Operate in ignorance without knowledge. It is seen, but not known or understood. Operate. They needed a way of recruit, so the team throughout the without the masses knowing. And the primary recruitment tool are the black fraternities after Sigma Pi Phi came into existence. After a professional organization that they established and accomplished Negroes were secretly a part of, but the way that they kept their membership growing is they formed these minor black collegiate Greek organizations that they always could gather and recruit the talent that they desired. You won't find a black Boule member that was not already part of the Greek collegiate fraternities. Most people think these fraternities and sororities are just part of our history. They feel that they were a way that black people formed camaraderie in order to combat oppression and segregation. And don't get me wrong, they definitely are, but they are so much more than that. These organizations were established in order to ensure that Satan had access to the black community in order to further his goals. If you or anyone you know is a part of the Greek fraternities and sororities, you've taken oaths, you performed their rituals, and you have not repented and denounced your participation with them, you have an extreme problem on your hands when you stand before the Most High. Some of you know this deep down inside, or some of you want to deny it because you still go to church and call on Jesus in your frat or sorority. So you probably want to ignore me and write me off saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. If you actually listen to what I have to say in full, that thought will be proven wrong. It's time that we all understand the black collegiate Greek fraternities and sororities known as the Divine Nine. Let's begin. Okay, so before I jump right into the Divine Nine, I want to make sure I lay the foundation for this understanding. I do not have the time to go over many specifics, but I'm going to treat you who is watching this as if you have not watched my video about Prince Hall Freemasonry and the other on the Boule. So if that's true, you may not completely understand these organizations. And you really can't understand the Divine Nine without understanding the foundations that were laid before them. The Divine Nine are entry-level access points that assist with recruitment. And if you lack understanding on these other institutions that were built before them, you may not understand the issue in this subject. I'm sure many are not aware that in Black America, since the ending of the Civil War, Freemasonry was used as a tool for cultural improvement and advancement. It is what Blacks in America clung to as a source of equality, freedom, and justice. There would be no civil rights movement in America without Freemasonry. And maybe your initial thought is to cheer them on for that. But what if these goals and movements were less about equality and freedom and more about rebellion, walking away from our creator and introducing a different form of slavery. We'll get to that. Either way, like I said earlier, the story of Black America cannot be accurately every pivotal turn in the history of Black America, Hall Freemasons can be found, especially in the Black Church. The foundation of Prince Hall Freemasonry was laid between 1775 and 1847. On March 6, 1775, 15 civilians were initiated in the Freemason Grand Lodge of Ireland, Lodge number 441, which had a lodge chartered in Boston, Massachusetts. These 15 were Black men from the Boston area. One of them was named Prince Hall. Now, this is important to understand and note. It wasn't the American Freemasons who initiated these men, but the lodges in England. In 1776, and always note this year because many different things happened in this year. During the War for Independence between America and England, these 15 Black men, including Prince Hall, formed themselves into a lodge which was called African Lodge Number 1.
They was established out of London. And what we have to understand what was happening during this same time. See, Jake, was there from day one, okay, when it comes to, all right, what they call the Illuminati. Jake was there from day one because the elites had it all mapped out, man. Okay, one thing about the elites, they are long-term strategic, they plan generations ahead, okay? And they wanted something established that could infiltrate Jake communities with satanic ideologies, man. Now, when you go to Adam, all right, Wysop, okay, which was an underling of the elites, all right, pretty much a do boy for the elites to set up Illuminati doctrine, okay, within these collegiate, okay, institutions, government, all right, and big business. Okay, the elites, how they play it is that they get the higher ups to sell out to their doctrine. You see, the foot soldiers don't know what's going on up top. Okay, they're just coming into a tradition that they don't have have a clue what's going on. They just want to be a part of something. Okay, so your auntie that used to be an AKA, at the cookout with the kinkly braids, she don't fully know what's going on. All right, she was just a part of a sisterhood. She probably seen some things, and but she's still under that vibration. Okay, but she doesn't fully understand. Okay, what she's a part of. Okay, now let's go here because they spoke about the year 1776. So I want to bring this out to show you that Jake was there day one. Of pretty much, what they call the Illuminati or the enlightened ones, okay, was being established. All right. Now it says on May 1st, 1776, all right, which they consider the birth of the Illuminati, Johann Adam Weishaupt founded the Illuminati. He's an underling or he's a do-boy of the elites. He was just doing the biddings of the elites, okay, mainly the Rothschild. And the elect Torrid of Bavaria, initially illumination was designated for a group of outstanding and enlightened individuals in society. And see, they use these Greek fraternities dealing with Jake, okay, to get, the creme de la creme, the top of the top. They use that to see who's going to be stand out, who has charisma, who's willing to do anything for success in this society. Okay, they're filling them out. So all these different thousands, tens of thousands of Jake that are joining these fraternities. Okay, these thousands of Jakes and Eve that's joining, these fraternities every year. They're looking, for those standout individuals, man, to be a senator, to be all right, a TV star, okay, to be a top pastor, okay, to be implanted in society as leaders amongst Jake, okay. It says, indeed, the word was adapted from the Latin root illuminatus, which directly translates to enlighten. He also adopted the name of Brother Spartacus within the order. Even encyclopedia references vary, all right, on the goal of the order, such as the Catholic encyclopedia, saying that the order was not, all right, egalitarian or democratic eternally, but sought to promote the doctrine of equality and freedom throughout society, while others, such as Colliers, have said that the aim was to combat religion and foster rationalization in its place, Satanism. Okay? Well, it say while our Lord was crucified, spiritual Egypt, okay, in Sodom, while our Lord was crucified, to foster rationalism in its place, man. Okay, so you see the agendas and the norms of society that go on. This was started by these secret societies and these high councils, man. Okay, that infiltrated, okay, all positions of authority in the earth, man, especially in the West. Okay, it said the Illuminati was formed with the vision of liberating humans. Okay, there you go with liberty, of liberating humans from religious bondage. What you think they're speaking of? What did the serpent tell Eve? You shall not surely die. Did he come, and make it seem as Eve was in bondage? Okay, the feminist movement, didn't it make it seem that women were in bondage? Okay, and undermining corrupted governments. Okay, and this was established in 1776, and Jake was right there from day one, going back to Prince Hall. Okay. So let's go back to it. Play running back just a little bit. Let it play.
Freemason Grand Lodge of Ireland, Lodge number 441, which had a lodge.
Lodge number 441. You see, the Lord was there too. You see, the Lord, yeah, he's part of these councils too. You know, you can't make it up, man. Lodge 441. Okay, let it play. Running back a little more. Okay, and hey, it's the Lord showing. Look, that I have a council. That's above these secret councils. Okay, and he would begin to raise up the house of David in these times, man, to a spiritual war. What's that? If a brother can post it, or the 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 4 and 5. If a brother want to post that, Baba Kashah, you can't make it up, man. Let me see.
Packed. That Prince Hall Freemasonry had upon blacks. The nation of Prince Hall Freemasonry was laid between between 1775 and 1847. On March 6, 1775, 15 civilians were initiated in the Freemason Grand Lodge of Ireland, Lodge number 441, which had a lodge chartered in Boston, Massachusetts. These 15 were black men from the Boston area. One of them was named Prince Hall. Now, this is important to understand and note. It wasn't the American Freemasons who initiated these men, but the lodges in England. In 1776, and always note this year because many different things happened in this year. During the War for Independence between America and England, these 15 black men, including Prince Hall, formed themselves into a lodge which was called African Lodge Number 1, under the leadership of Prince Hall. African Lodge, under the leadership of Prince Hall, was held in high regard in the general community, aside from the racists who opposed them because of their color and their race. The lodge was particularly attractive to leaders in the black community. It showed a different type of black man that was not seen in this country before this. One in Providence, Rhode Island, and the other in Philadelphia. I want you to remember Philadelphia because they are important when we get to the Boule. There's a lot of details on how they grew and spread their membership around the country. But right now, those details are inconsequential. They grew again, Prince Hall Freemasonry. And Prince Hall Freemasons served at the core of this struggle. The founding of many universities and mutual aid societies for blacks, financial institutions, the gaining of political power, the Underground Railroad, the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation, all were directly influenced by Freemasons. Moving up in time, a subject that black people love to discuss is Black Wall Street. Now, don't get me wrong, what happened to them was a tragedy. But you should know that Prince Hall Freemasonry was very strong there. You cannot leave them out of the conversation when speaking of the black experience in America.
So you see, these colleges and, these different political movements, the Freemasons had their hand in, these jakes, man. Okay? Amongst my people are wicked men. And I found that out, that you had Freemasonry even within what they call Black Wall Street, man. Now, as I just say, every family, that was there, okay, was a part of the Freemasonry, okay, or that they even knew about particular things, man. It could have been a situation where Jake was thriving, okay, and you seen, and these Freemasons seen a way to, a way of opportunity, man. They came in, started networking and moving. That's how these elites do, man. They see something thriving and they just, they wiggle in there, man. Start dropping that doctrine and, they start using their influence and, connections that they have, to gain favor. Okay. And next thing you know, they run it. Okay. So, hey, these niggas was on the scene. All right. So let's get these two precepts. This is son of Yahweh Shai. All right, Labad and Napash. This 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. So for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. And these Freemasons have established a lot of strongholds within society, man. And that plantation Christianity is one of them, man. Okay, but see, hey, this is spiritual, and that's why their first lodge in Ireland was lodge number 441. Okay, and the Lord, he had a strategy as well. Okay, they will combat this, man. All right, it's through spiritual warfare, man. Through shedding light, man. By coming with that light, that truth. Okay, 2 Corinthians 10 and 5, and it said, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua. And see, this is why, we're, constantly, all right, as these devils, grooming society, in wickedness, we're being groomed in righteousness, man. Casting away those wicked thoughts, man. Putting those thoughts in captivity and in subjection, man. Okay, those wicked mindsets that we had, okay, under Yahweh Shah, we're casting these things down, okay? And we're becoming illuminated on the right hand side, man. Okay, as they speak about, the Illuminati. Okay, so I'm gonna let it play some more.
Okay, so through this time period of the early 1800s, slavery, the Civil War, Reconstruction and post-Reconstruction, Southern white supremacy, through all of that, Prince Hall Freemasonry spread and solidified. By the beginning of the 20th century, the year 1900, there was either a Prince Hall Grand Lodge or a Charter Lodge operating in nearly every northern and southern state, and also some western territories and states. And all that is important to know if you want to understand Black America. There are a lot of detailed subjects, but I speak on depth dedicated to that topic. It's just important to understand the foundation. The power in the Black community started with the Prince Hall Masons. This understanding needs to be established for everyone. Now let's move on. Within the ranks of the Masons were an educated bourgeois class of Black men that looked at themselves as elite compared to the rest of the other Masons. They wanted to be separated and distinguished from all the other Masons. And the ruling class of America, those elite families that are still the unseen hand of this world, they needed a source of recruitable Negroes to assist them with their plan to assimilate the Negroes into this new world that they were building. So there was a subsection of the underground world of Negroes that was made to be the gatekeepers of Black America. On their website, and yes, they do have a website, they say this about themselves. Sigma Pi Phi fraternity is also known as the Boule, which in ancient Greece was a council of chiefs. The meaning of the word Sigma Pi Phi, the titles given to its members and their wives, its officers, and the names of its local units are derived from Greek history and tradition as well. In its early years, Sigma Pi Phi could be viewed as a secret organization that consciously avoided publicity. It was not until 1982 that the fraternity adopted a policy of limited and selected publicity. Although no longer secret today, it can be described as a fraternity that exists with little fanfare and one that actively seeks to improve the lives of the citizens in the communities in which the members are associated through its social action and public policy programs and initiatives. I just want you to get that right there. It wasn't until 1982, almost 80 years, policy was very limited and very selected. So it's no mystery why many of us never heard of them. With 6 members in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Sigma Pi Phi fraternity has deliberately grown slowly, as the emphasis has always been on quality and not quantity. Yet it currently has nearly 5,000 active members who are affiliated with 134 member boules in cities across the breadth of this nation and in Nassau, the Bahamas, and London, the United Kingdom. It has welcomed and continues to welcome into its fraternal bond some of the most distinguished men in the world. Its members have included such men as W.E.B. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson, Martin Luther King Jr., Benjamin E. Mays, Ralph J. Bunche, James Weldon Johnson, Charles R. Drew, Daniel Hale Williams, Percy L. Julian, Charles H. Wesley, Oliver W. Hill, Paul R. Williams, John Hope Franklin, Leon Higginbotham, Ulysses K., Arna Bontemps, Arthur Ashe, David H. Blackwell, Robert C. Weaver, Ronald H. Brown, and the list goes on and on.
Now he mentioned W.E.D. Du Bois, okay, which that Jake, along with those 2 small hats, all right, Boaz, I think the other last name was Melkovich. All right, it was Yashawamba always going to him dealing with African American studies, but they came up with their curriculum of teaching Jake that there was African Americans, man, which are the name of 2 Edomites. Okay, Amerigo Vespucci, okay, which was an Italian map maker, the first one to put America on the map. Okay. And then you had Leo Scipio Africanus, which was a Roman general, during the Punic wars, all right, with Carthage and Hannibal. Okay. 2 Edomites. All right. And W.E. Du Bois, which he just, he was of the Boule, but he worked hand in hand with those small hats in their curriculum of teaching Jake that we was African Americans, man, which was separating us, all right, further and further, all right, in darkness, man. Separating us from our power and putting us in darkness, man. Okay, you see. But if a brother can put that real quick, Hosea 1:10. All right. And we'll let the rest of it play. But if a brother can post that real quick, book of Hosea chapter 1, verse 10, because the Lord always had a plan, that we will prevail, over the counsel of the wicked. Okay, scripture say what the gates of hell shall not prevail against the true church, man. Okay, which is the elect of Israel. But there's been a lot of wickedness in high places, and Jake has been there, man, hand in hand with these devils, man. Okay? There's nothing new in the sun. You're gonna get into that as well. All right. So I might get it. So this is the brother, all right, soldier of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah Laban Napash. All right, and it said, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, all right, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living power. Okay, this whole African American studies curriculum, was telling us that we're not the Lord's people. They just threw a title on us, man. Okay? But guess what? The Lord had it set up in prophecy, the same places where we were not called the sons of God. Okay? Now we're being called by their name, Yasha'Allah, Israel, man. And this is what these devils didn't want. Okay? And that's why this truth has a major effect on how these devils is moving, man. Okay? Yep, brother got this. Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations, man. Esau's wickedness is being undone. Okay? And the people that the Lord is allowing this man to still deceive, those are the people giving over. Those are this Jake that's giving over to this man for destruction, man. Okay? But hey, Esau's kingdom is being undone by the threads, man, which are these false doctrines, man. Okay? Weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty of pulling the strongholds down. Strongholds are being pulled down. Okay?
Its past, as well as its present members, have been and are leaders in the struggle for civil rights, social justice, economic and educational equality, and in the implementation of public policy and healthcare initiatives that aid our underserved communities. Now, they apparently took it off their website, but in Prince Hall Mason and Boule member Charles Wesley's book, History of Sigma Pi Phi, when speaking about the founder, Henry Minton, Wesley writes this about Minton. His dream and ambition were to organize a Greek letter fraternity and to have its members not to be selected on the basis of brains alone, but in addition to congeniality, culture, and good fellowship, that they should have behind them a record of accomplishment, not merely be men of promise and good education. In summary, Minton wanted to create an organization which would partake, in his own words, of the tenets of Skull and Bones at Yale and Phi Beta Kappa. Yeah, so you can see now in this age of information why they would have removed that from their site. If you remember, Skull and Bones was a secret society that both George Bush and John Kerry claimed to be part of in the 2004 presidential election.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest.
Number
of it.
322.
First of all, he's not the nominee, and look, I look forward.
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number? There are all kinds of secrets.
They were in the same secret society, but could not tell us anything about it. Wikipedia says this about that secret society. And no, Wikipedia should never be your first source of information, but it's a good quote. Skull and Bones, also known as the Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death, is an undergraduate senior secret student society at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. It is one of the big three societies at Yale, the other two being Scroll and Key and Wolf's Head Society. Now, for this discussion, we don't need to know much more, but understanding the underworkings of this world, it says a lot that the Boule wanted to create an organization that partakes in the tenets of the Brotherhood of Death. Minton's ambitions drove him to take leadership in the creation of a fraternity among men of like ideals and attributes, and to build an affiliation of selected college men who had made achievements in their careers and their community. And this is when Sigma Pi Phi was created. Now, like I said, that's what the book says. I believe he was actually approached and given an opportunity by white Masons outside of Prince Hall. And they gave him the opportunity to distinguish himself from the other Prince Hall Masons. Now, there's obviously no record of this, so I can't speak this as fact. But based on how I've seen them work in this world, this makes sense to me. But either way, Sigma Pi Phi was created. The historic birth date of Sigma Pi Phi is May 15th, 1904. This is their Founders Day. It was at this time the concept of the Boule was formed. And again, I made separate videos on these subjects, so if you want to learn more in depth about them, please go to those videos. Those videos are on my website. This is the foundation of how Greek life started. First from Freemasonry, and for those with understanding, I know I'm leaving other organizations out like the Elks, so I'm just keeping it simple here. So first from Freemasonry, then on to Sigma Pi Phi, which was the first Black Greek organization, then on to the Divine Nine. So now we must discuss the Divine Nine. The National Pan-Hellenic Council, Inc., NPHC, also referred to as the Divine Nine, is the umbrella organization housing Black Greek letter organizations. Its member organizations include Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Inc., Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Inc., Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, Inc., Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Inc., Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Inc., Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, Inc., Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority, Inc., and Iota Phi Theta Fraternity, Inc. Altogether, the council's membership exceeds 1.5 million individuals around the world. When you go into the history of these organizations, they introduce this to you by explaining the struggle. This is how these organizations were validated in our minds. They frame it like this. Each of the 9 NPHC organizations evolved during a period when African Americans were being denied essential rights and privileges afforded to others. Racial isolation on predominantly white institution campuses created a need for African Americans to align themselves with other individuals sharing common goals and ideals. They explained that, with the realization of such a need, the African American Greek lettered organization movement took on the persona of a haven and outlet, which could foster brotherhood and sisterhood in the pursuit to bring about social change through the development of social programs that would create positive change for Black people and the country. And I want to be clear, I don't want to discredit the racial oppression that they faced and the challenges that they had to deal with. But their solution to this problem brought about the demise of the Black community, and it wasn't about the uplifting of it. Throughout our history, when you know who we truly are, Every time our ancestors chose to assimilate rather than attach to the Most High, they were conquered. This instance here is no difference. Now, listen, we can debate over the opportunities that these organizations created, the doors that they opened, the rights we have today because of their efforts. Yeah, that's all good for the debate, and I'm sure many will want to engage in that discussion. But for time's sake, let me make sure I identify my problem, the separation, and the split. You personally may not share this perspective, and if this is not important to you, then what I will be saying later means nothing to you. But I think it's important to understand where I'm coming from with this. My perspective is one that is biblically based. I believe in the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahuwah, the God of Yasharel. You know it better as Israel.
And we know the name is Yahweh. Okay, like I said, he's off on the name. He's gonna use the wrong name. Which we'll watch a few more minutes of it. I think he done said most of the points that I was harping on. But let's see. But when Jake tries to go too deep in the Bible, he can go way left. Jake do an outstanding job with the secular information. Then Jake go in the scriptures and go into the Bible and go crazy. Because he's not just crazy off. But the name is Yahweh, and the son of his name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, well he uses Yiddish, a little broken Yiddish sound like his pronunciation. So we're gonna let a few more minutes play, then we'll wrap it up with precepts.
I believe fully in him and preparing for his kingdom. I do not put the secular world and his secular goals over my pursuit to follow and obey him. So many people use that pagan title of the Lord, but they truly don't make him Lord or master over their lives. My argument is that in order for a satanic new world order to grow, Satan needed to spread his doctrine and his traditions to every tribe, tongue, and nation in order to grow in influence, so that the world can begin to follow him more than they follow Yahuwah. The Black Americans, also called African Americans, who are known Hebrews, these recruits were given status in the society so that they could have sway and influence. And you can see of this by looking at history. At the time, the community was very conservative in their value. And after basically a century, after they attached the civil rights movement and their fight for racial equality, they attached themselves to liberal values that have completely changed the fabric of the community.
Hi, I'm Reverend Al Sharpton, an American for marriage equality. As a Baptist minister, I don't have the right to impose my beliefs on anyone else. So if committed gay and lesbian couples want to marry, that's their business. None of us should stand in their way. All of us must fight for what's fair and for what's right. Join me and the majority of Americans who support marriage equality.
Turning to moralists, lawless individuals. This was liberating in these recruits in order to fulfill this goal. So let me be clear that the problem is that because these organizations were built from the foundation of satanic principles, everything about them is tainted and off. Be clear, if this organization was not built around the foundation of Luciferian doctrine, spreading false light, I would be all for a group of people who came together to build unity against oppression. Just like if Christmas wasn't a day that was made to celebrate the birth of the sun god, and they didn't tie it with worship of our Messiah with it, I would love a day to just give gifts and be together with family. But that's not the reality. And because these things are built around false satanic foundations, there is an overall problem that cannot be ignored.
Yeah, we'll stop it there. And we'll get into some precepts. All right, now first I want to go here, because as you can see, all right, that our people were conservative. They didn't fully have the knowledge, but they did have morale. You know, but Esau sprinkled those seeds of wickedness through the leadership, and now you see the influence that Jake is under today is completely satanic. Now you go into Sigma Pi Phi, okay, which is the name of the Boule, okay, and you go into what it means, okay. It says membership in the Sigma Pi Phi is highly exclusive, numbering only about 5,000. The organization is known as the Boule, which means in ancient Greek the council. Okay, so let's get into the precepts, man. And also, I want to go into the study Bible and read about the Sadducees, because we hear about the Sadducees a lot, but I want to give a backstory on them, and it's similar to the Boule, how they operate, because the Boule is exclusive. All right, now this is the Sadducees. Now this is in the King James. This is the Nelson Study Bible. Pretty good study Bible. For notes, and they go off on particular things, but it's a lot of information within their study Bible. But they have a segment on in between the testaments, because as we're going to go into a little bit of the Maccabees. All right. Well, we have to understand there's different sects. There arose during the Hellenization period of Jake. That's why you go to the Divine Nine. They call it the Hellenic, okay, assembly. Which is all Greek. Which is all Hellenization, man. Okay. Hey, that's why we have to know their history, and it makes perfect sense, man. Why Jake, is so, drawn to Greek culture. Now it should make sense why the Apostle Paul said there's neither Jew nor Greek. Okay, because that Greek culture had a heavy influence on Jake, and we see the same thing happening, until this day. Okay, now, so this is the Sadducees. And it says, although the Pharisees and Sadducees are frequently denounced, all right, together in the New Testament, they had little in common except the antagonism, all right, to Yahushua. So the Sadducees and Pharisees, we hear those names, together in the New Testament, and we think, that they're similar, but no, it's a major difference. Okay. Only thing was they would come together against Yahushua, because Yahushua was getting on all their ass, man, because they was off. Okay, it says the Sadducees were the party of the Jerusalem, all right, aristocracy, okay, which was they was high class, and the high priesthood. They had made their peace with the political rulers, which were the Romans, and had attained positions of wealth and influence. And had attained positions of wealth and influence, man. Sounds similar to the Boule. It says temple administration and ritual were their specific responsibilities. The Sadducees had held themselves aloof, all right, from the masses, and were unpopular with them, all right, and the exclusive, exclusive class amongst Jake. It says the Pharisaic attempts, all right, speaking of the Pharisees, to applying the law to new situations were rejected by the Sadducees. So the Sadducees wasn't with trying to, incorporate the law and all right into, the society of the Romans, all right, that Greco-Roman society. They wasn't trying to hold fast to the law. Okay, they was pretty much conformed fully, okay, into that Greco-Roman society. And it says the Pharisaic attempt at applying the law to new situations were rejected by the Sadducees, who restricted their concept of authority to the Torah or Mosaic law. They did not believe in resurrection, spirits, or angels. Their faith was largely a series of negations, okay? Negations, which means what? They, their whole doctrine was based on saying what it ain't, okay? Why? Because they was heavily, influenced by the Greco-Roman society, man, okay? And it says they left no positive religious or political system. While the Pharisees welcomed proselytes, all right, which are new members, the Sadducean party was closed. None but members of the high priestly and aristocratic families of Jerusalem could become members. Okay? They're exclusive, all right, and it was all about what your wealth and achievements in society, man. And I just found that, similar, to that Boule, man, that order of the Boule. Okay? Now, dealing with Sigma Pi Phi, okay, which means uh council, all right. We have to understand what the wicked, would always have a council against Yahweh by Shemal Shah. And Jake, is riding the coattail, these Boule members, these secret, these higher ups, these Jake secret society, they're doing nothing but riding the coattail of Esau's wicked counsel. Let's go here. Let's go here into the book of Job. All right, chapter 21. All right, in verse starting at 14. All right, this is speaking of the wicked. Okay. Get straight to the point. In Job 21 and 13 said they spend their days in wealth and in the moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. And see, these devils, all right, prosper through what? Satan. Their source of power is Satan. Okay, they want nothing to do with the Most High. All right, and they are prospering under this satanic order. So they like, well, why should what would be the point of serving the Most High? We spend all our days in wealth, and the scriptures say they're not in trouble as other men. Okay, and Jake sees that and envies that, man. All right, what you're going to get. Therefore, they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. Okay, and this is why and when they talk about liberating, all right, liberation, they're talking about liberating from the ways of the Most High. They like, look, we prosper without him. You can too. You shall not surely die. Okay, he's taking this show on the road. That song and dance he came to Eve with, the serpent came to Eve with. Esau was taking this show on the road. And he's leading a rebellion in the earth, man. And say with this technology, the sea hip, he's telling the earth, like, look, we can prosper without the Most High. This is what this man is set to bring to the earth, man. This is his promise. It's going to be prosperity without the Most High. And this is what these Jake, all right, sellouts push to our people as well. Okay, it says, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Okay? What Jake say when you had the whole thing with Kanye and Kyrie, you had Jake on Twitter saying, okay, so we are Israelites, so what I'm supposed to do with that in 2022? Jake don't see no profit in that, man. Jake don't see no profit in being the son of the Most High. Jake sees a profit in chasing the bag. Okay? Jake sees a profit in black economy, black politics. Jake sees that as a profit, man. Okay? Showing you that our people have taken on to the mind of Esau Edom. And this is nothing new. I believe it's Malachi, the 3rd chapter. This is where the priesthood was corrupt, as well. Okay? This is Malachi 3 and 14, it says, you have said it is vain to serve the Most High. Okay, because why? Jake was prospering under heathens, man. Okay? It says, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? Okay? And now we call the proud happy, yeah. They that work wickedness are set up, yeah. They that tempt the Most High are even delivered. You see? This is the mindset of Jake, man, that link to Esau Edom. They started to think like him, man. Okay, when they see the prosperity of these devils, because these Jakes, they see things that we've never seen before, man. Okay, so they see the prosperity of Esau within these councils, man, and they like, this the way. Okay, then they see Esau, he's rebelling against the Most High and prospering, man. So now, they push rebellion as a way of prosperity, man. Okay, let's go from there. That's why the Lord, get there in Jeremiah. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5. I want to say it's verse 26. Okay, it's, Jeremiah 5 and 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that set up snares. They set a trap, they catch men. Okay, and that divine 9 is set to do what, man? To recruit Jake. Okay, into these wicked secret societies, man. Okay, which is the snare. And what they offer Jake, these privileges, these connections, networking, guaranteed this, you set up with this job, and so you go to that word snare, these are snare. All right, which is Hash. All right, which is a fowler, a trapper, a bait layer. Okay, and what's the bait? Because in the college fraternities, you got the women, you got the clout, these things that please the Jake flesh. It says, as a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they become great and waxing rich. Okay? Hey, these secret societies, these Jakes have waxing rich, man. These mega pastors. Hell, Nate. Okay? He's in the mix too, man. Nathaniel, General Nathaniel Oligar. Okay? Verse 28 said, they are waxing fat, they shine. Yeah, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. Okay? Jake is overpassing the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause, the true cause. Okay? Which the true problem with our people is sin. That's the root. Okay? That's the purpose of us being punished is sin. So they're not dealing with the true cause of poverty amongst Jake. It's sin. Violence amongst Jake is sin. Okay, dysfunction amongst family. Sin is the problem. That's the cause. Okay, the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. All right, and the right of the needy do they not judge, man? Okay, and then Jake is in need of true leadership. That's why Yahushua said this. Okay, Yahushua, when he looked amongst Jake, all right, this is Matthew 9. Yep, Matthew 9 and 36. All right. I started 35. It said this is Matthew 9:35. It says, and Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Okay? Sheep having no leaders, man. Yahushua seen Jake, in a bad situation, because he knew the leadership of Jake was sold out. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. All right, the true leaders, man. And that's what's being raised up out of the house of David. Okay, telling you to do what? Depart from this society, man. Jake wants you assimilated into this society, man, which is set for destruction. It says, pray ye therefore the Lord of harvest, that he send forth laborers into the harvest, man. And the harvest is the believers. Okay, and the laborers are the teachers, man, the prophets, man, the preachers, the true preachers, man. Okay, and just to show you that when Yahushua was on the scene, he was dealing with these niggas. Okay, there was what? In these councils with the enemy, man. That's why when you go to the book of Matthew chapter 2, verse 1, now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Okay? Was it speaking about all of the, every Israelite that was in Jerusalem? No, it was those that was around the king, because he said, when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled. Okay, because he was an imposter. He was an Edomite imposter. Okay, so he felt his throne was threatened. They thought Yahushua was coming to establish the throne of David again. Okay, that's what they was thinking. They thought he was going to establish it in that time. It says, in all Jerusalem with him. So did he have every Israelite around him in his courts? No, man. Okay, them sellout niggas, man. They was troubled because they were like, damn, when you faking, and you shaking, but then you hear, the real coming in, it's like, damn, because they were what? They were living lavish, man. Okay, with Herod being that imposter king and them coon niggas around him, man. Just like today, Esau, he's the imposter king of the earth today. Okay. And you got them sellout niggas around them, man, and they're trouble at the doctrine and then the coming of Yahushua, man. You see? So when you go here, let's get this in Matthew. Let's see. Let's get Matthew 22. All right. Remember, Sigma, what is it? Sigma Pi Phi. Sigma Pi Phi means what? The council. All right, in ancient Greek. Okay. And Jake was in council with these Edomites, man. All right. Now you go to Matthew 22 and 15. It says, then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in this talk. Okay, these little secret counsel. Jake was been doing this, man. Okay. And to entangle who? Yahushua. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians. Okay. Jake called themselves after what? Edomites. Calling himself Herodians. Jake was calling himself Antiochians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true and teachest the way of the Most High in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. So they trying to flatter Yahushua to trip him up. Okay? Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahweh perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny, and he said to them, Who is the image and superscription? Okay? They said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar's the things which are Caesar's, and to the Most High that, all right, the things that are the Most High's. And who are the Most High's, man? His people. Okay, but while his people were in this captivity under the Romans, Yahushua told them, hey, give Caesar what's Caesar. That's why we pay taxes and bills, to this day. Okay, because we're in another man's kingdom. Okay, but guess what? While we're in this captivity, all right, the Lord has separated us in spirit, okay, unto himself, man, until he physically come, okay, until he physically comes and remove us, man. All right, so let's go from there. Because even when it was time to crucify Yahushua, what was Jake doing, man? In these councils, man. Okay, you're gonna be surprised. There's a lot of your favorite teachers that's in these councils, man. Okay, this is Matthew 27:1. It says, when the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahushua to put him to death, man. And that's why you have Jake that want to kill this doctrine now. Jake that's changing up the doctrine. They really want to put Yahushua to death because, see, Yahushua is present through doctrine right now. Okay, if it was up to niggas, they will put Yahushua to death again, man. Okay, that's why he's not coming back to deal with Jake as a man. He's coming back by action, man, and in his full power. Okay, what Herod was afraid of then, Yahushua is coming back with that now. He's coming back with that energy. They thought he was coming back the first time, man. They thought he was coming with the first time, but nah, he's gonna fulfill everything in the scriptures when he comes back this time, man. Okay, so let's go from there. I wanna get this in the I'm gonna get a few accounts out of the Maccabee. That's the show, man. That's why, you understand that history, then you see, there's no new thing on the sun. All those spirits are back, man. All those spirits, man, from the Greco-Roman era, they're back. Okay, Edomites and Jake. Okay, and they're doing the same thing. Okay, and those that fought against it, all right, those Israelites that, and stay faithful to Yahweh Shema Shai, they're here as well, fighting in the spirit. Okay, this is lock. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10. It says, and there came out of them a wicked root, right? Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus or Antiochus the king, all right, we won't pronounce it, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are around about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Jake won the ball. Okay, this covenant, 501c3 charter, that's a covenant. Don't Jake have those today? Don't Israelite groups have those covenants today? Don't the church have those things today? Okay. Now, if you got a business outside of the ministry and you use the word, don't abuse it, but Jake is tying the doctrine to it, man. okay, to where they can indoctrinate what? Heathen culture amongst Jake, man. Hey, it ain't no coincidence that IUIC is not going to drop the name of Christ, man. That ISUPK was telling you to get the juice, man. Okay? It's the same setup, man. All right. It says, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Okay. What culture has Jake been influenced in? Heathen culture, man. Look at Jake now. The family structure is gone. Niggas are, the majority of men and women are finished. Look at niggas, man. Look at the women. Okay? Jake is getting worse and worse because that seed has been planted and spread. The way of the heathen said, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs, okay? According to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief, man. All right. And Jake has been sold out to the heathen, man. Okay. Jake has been Hellenized again in this time. Okay. So let's go from there. And I end it here. I get this here. I want to read in the NLT. It's the book of Job 22. So it's tons of points in history, we can go into with the point made. I just want to end it here on this note, man. This is the book of Job, chapter 22. Yep, Job 22 and 15. This is NLT. It says, will you continue on the old paths where evil people have walked? You see, and what you have these Edomites and these Jakes that are, linked to these devils, they're doing the same thing that all these ancient empires have done and been destroyed for. So it's like, will you continue on the old path where evil people have walked? Like, you gonna go down this road again? Okay, the Lord tell you why he brought the flood. The Lord tell you, okay, Sodom and Gomorrah was an example of any nation that will live, ungodly after that manner, man. So this the road we gonna go down? Okay. Verse 16 said they were snatched away in the prime of life, the foundations of their lives washed away. Okay? And the Lord always intervene on these wicked empires, man, in the peak of their power. Okay? But they will be in the peak of their folly. It said, for they said to the Most High, leave us alone. What can the Almighty do to us? Isn't that the spirit that's in the earth? Everybody got their own truth. Everybody got their own standard. They want to be left alone. They call you these different, phobic. You a phobic, You see? Verse 18. Yet he was one, all right. Yet he was the one who filled their homes with good things. So I will have nothing to do with that kind of thinking. Okay? So the Most High, like, y'all, y'all got me fucked up. That's really how the Most High, you gotta say it there blunt, man, because hey, it's drastic. You see? And the Most High, he's from the show. Okay? It said the righteous will be happy to see the wicked destroyed, and the innocent will laugh in contempt. Yeah, the Lord said we were gonna laugh at famine and destruction, man. The destruction of the wicked. They will say, see how our enemies have been destroyed. The last of them have been consumed in the fire, man. And that's going to be the celebration on the chariots, man. Okay, as we're seeing the lake of fire, man. Then glass mingled with fire. It's going to be that celebration. okay, over this wicked counsel. Submit to the Most High, and you will have peace. And that's what we're doing now. Then things will go well for you. See, we'll take the suffering, and we ain't got to be in these cliques, and we ain't got to be in the higher ups or the aristocrats of this society, man. We'll take the load now for eternal peace, man, for eternal favor, man. We'll submit now and be outcasts in this society, man. Okay? Verse 22 said, listen to his instructions and store them in your heart, which is your mind. Because Esau has instructed what? Rebellion. Okay? If you return to the Almighty, you will be restored. So clean up your life. Okay? And this is what the thing is about. We're being restored. The Lord is going to fully restore us, man. Okay? So first we're being restored with this wisdom, this understanding, this order. Okay? Then we're going to be restored back to rulership, man. Okay? It says if you give up your lust for money, you see that? Why is Jake making these moves for money? Jake is living these lifestyles, and Jake has his fame and his free time, the pleasure that comes with it. Okay, but the scripture says if you give up your lust for money and throw your precious gold into the river, the Almighty Himself will be your treasure. And then we have Yahweh Shema Shai, we got everything, man, and it's gonna be in righteousness, man. It says He will be your precious silver. Then you will take delight in the Almighty and look up to the Most High. Okay, you will pray to Him and He will hear you, and you will fulfill your vows to Him. Okay, you will succeed in whatever you choose to do, and light will shine on the road ahead of you. Okay. So we on that path, man. All right, and Jake is on that broad way that's leading to destruction, man. And they're being led by the wicked few. You see? So, that's the point. All right. Lord will you, brothers, and you few sisters edify. What I'm going to do, I see the brother. Shalom, brother. Brother GMS Hawaii. Bye. I'm going to leave that link too, brother. I meant to send you this. But I'm finna copy this link, in case you want to get down on it. I know that's your stilo, brother. So that's the video. Then that channel, I just started watching that channel. Jay got, good little content on there, Yeah. But yeah, we in with this, bro. This is GMS Hawaii Ba. This is Luke 6, 24 and 26. And this is but woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation, which is your comfort. All right. And Jake done received that. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. All right. You're satisfied with your status, your clout, your resources that you have in this society, man. Your riches. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers of the false prophet, man. All right. So Jake is finna fall hard, man. One thing about it, when you at that type of status, it's gonna be a hard fall, man. It's gonna be a hard fall, man. So Lord will you, brothers. All right, and you few sisters edified. To the next time, I say shalom. Going mashallah, abab, DTA soon. Shalom.